All right, guys, I am back. And today's project is going to be these. And yeah, these are also inspired by Amy. This was also part of her Christmas ornaments that I got last year from Lori. So they're pretty basic little rosettes here. And we're going to go ahead and I've already got most of the pieces cut, but of course I'll give you the information. I used my 2.5 inch scallop punch. Oops, and it's just the Paper Studio one there, so 2.5 inch. And then I've already cut my strips that I'll be using, and they are 2.5 inches wide by the full length of a 12-inch paper pad. And then let me grab the paper pad to show you which one it was. It was Everyday Craft Paper by Craft Studios, and it just happened to be one that I got on clearance last fall. So yeah, if yours still has it and they're not on clearance, sorry. And you can also use like your 40% off coupon or wait till Paper Studio goes on sale. Yeah, so, and then you'll need your scoreboard. And like I said, we're just making simple rosettes. And then, yeah. So I'll just show you how I make them. I'm sure there's probably a couple of different ways to make these, but this is just how I learned. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so you're going to take your scoreboard. Let me make sure I'm still in frame. Yep, okay. And I'm going to do 1 inch. So at every 1 inch mark, I'm just going to score those out. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to ask you how you guys are doing today. It is going fairly well. When I'm recording this, I'm getting kind of nervous because I have to do a Zoom meeting later today for some 4-H stuff. So that always makes me nervous a little bit, especially when it has to be like face to face, you know? Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, 4-H season is getting ready to kick off again. So, I mean, it technically, the new year started October 1st, but well, we can't in our county, like in our state, we can't have any like live meetings. So it's all done via Zoom still, which I don't know how that's going to end up being for the year again this year. See if there's any livestock sales or if there's even really going to be a fair. I don't know. I'm starting to feel like it's not really fair to the kids, because obviously, I mean, you in 4-H you have to pay dues, like membership dues. You don't, it's not free. And so I just honestly, I'm kind of feeling like the kids got messed out of their membership last year because the things that were offered weren't exactly like, it wasn't the full experience. But I mean, the kids, all the kids were pretty gracious about it. So I mean, there's that. Hopefully this year things will be better. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 of the same pieces we just made, and I'm going to take the last scored piece here and the first one here, and I'm going to glue them together to create one long strip. So yeah, I think this year they all need to make decisions faster. Because the livestock kids, I mean, all the kids, don't get me wrong, but especially the livestock kids, they didn't make any actual decisions about anything. And so we had like my my rabbit kids, because those of you that are new won't know that I'm one of the superintendents for the rabbits, and I'm also what they call a key leader. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to accordion this up. And again, this is just how I do it. Others who make rosettes all the time might be cringing. but this is how I do it. So yeah, anyhow, where was I in that story? So what happens is the kids, like the rabbit kids, and I don't know about other species specifically, so I'm just going to speak about the rabbits. Grace does what they call a priming litter. And what that means is that we breed her rabbits late December, early January, so that they have a set of kits being bunnies, in February. And then at about 6 weeks, those are weaned from mom. And at that point, then we decide what we're going to do with the kits, whether she'll use those as different projects at fair, or if they will go to the raptors, or we will cull for food. Yes, we do eat rabbit. I know that's kind of appalling to some people, but trust me, they're only cute for about 8 weeks, as far as the meat portion. Of course, she does have show rabbits, you know. There are breeds for show, and then there's breeds for meat. And like I said, the meat bunnies are only cute for about 8 weeks. And then they get this weird, just like a meat chicken, they get kind of weird looking after that. But at any rate, I'm getting off topic here. Not really off topic, just off of what I wanted to talk about. Oh, so then we're going to glue each end together here, making sure that you keep patterns together, okay? Oh, and that's another thing to pay close attention to. If you are using pattern paper, make sure that you have your patterns like lined up, okay? That, like, since I'm using music, it all makes sense, right? Musics are all together. Okay, now this part is one of those parts that I don't really care to do, and this is what keeps me from doing them. So now you have this rosette. Now you got to kind of fold it in on itself, and I struggle with this all the time. I wish I knew an easier way to do this, but I don't. See what I mean? So if any of you haven't, like, make lots of rosettes and you got an easier way of getting them folded in, let me know, because I'm all ears. There we go. It's coming slowly but surely. There we go. Okay, so you want to fold it to where it's like this, okay? Now I try to keep my middle hole as small as possible, so kind of getting them up in there. Just kind of make sure they all kind of look good. And then, being an acrobat, I think I'm going to flip it over really quick, because when I did the first one, I didn't do this, and I kind of regretted it later. So I'm going to flip it over, trying really hard not to lose my rosette. There we go. And I think I'm going to glue the back piece on first, because the back, well, it will still look kind of pretty, isn't the most important piece here. Okay, and oh. Little did you know when you tuned in it would be comedy hour, huh? Silly little thing. Stay right where I told you to. And then I just use hot glue, put it in the middle of my circle here. And then get it down in there. And then unfortunately you got to hold it a little bit. Trying really hard not to burn your fingers through the paper. Okay, so what I was talking about is I need to pull out these two things here. And then I'm going to work on this piece here. Right, I did the right one. Okay, good. Whew. I was worried that I had used the wrong circle there. Okay, so this is that opal glitter medium. And as you can tell, it's kind of just in there. It's, once you get it on your finger or on a paintbrush, it does kind of That's the word I'm looking for, guys. Get wetter, maybe. It's not as chunky, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this one too while we're at it, and it can be drying. Oh, so okay, back to the rabbits really quick. So they have to breed because the rabbits can't be under 8 weeks old when they go to fair. So, and fair is usually in August, so they have to breed no later than April, but their bunnies have to have recovery time between litters. And I know this is going to sound like a lot, but especially if you don't know rabbits. Rabbits really typically should have 2 to 3 litters a year to remain healthy. And if you look at rabbits in the wild, you'll notice that like late winter, usually like mid-spring, and then there's a fall litter. So, you know, you'll see babies 2 to 3 times a year in nature. So I know that, sorry. I know that that's kind of a misconception. Like, it might seem like we're harming the rabbits, but we're not, I promise. Rabbits that don't get bred typically have behavioral issues. They tend to not live as long. Yeah. So anyways, and we don't breed anything that's over 3 years old in the meat portion, because it's just, I mean, it's hard on them. So they just get to retire and hang out in the barn then. And I don't actually think Gracie's going to be getting any more new stock from now until like she quits, not quits, but like basically finishes up her 4-H years, because she's close. She can go this year and then next year. And so it wouldn't be fair to any new stock, because after she moves out, I don't think Paul and I are going to have rabbits. And we might, I don't know, but but anyway, so that, okay, so last year what happened is nobody made a call for these rabbit kids. And so kind of the goal is to have what we call like winning meat pens, or winning stewers or fryers, or, you know, or roasters. A meat pen, I hope you guys don't mind that I'm going into detail. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put this top piece of this rosette in there, okay? We'll get it glued in there. Finish securing this sucker down. So a meat pen consists of 3 like animals, all the same breed, all the same color, and all the same body type. Which sounds easy, but it's not, because with rabbits, it's very, if you picture like a dog show, right? You're going for standard of perfection. Okay, and so in the rabbit world, what standard of perfection, like each breed, obviously with dogs, it all has its own standard. Okay, I'm going to go around down into these things and just give it some glitter. And up on the pieces there. So you're going for standard perfection, and with one rabbit, it's not, I won't say it's easy, but it's not as hard as it is getting 3 exact 8-week-old babies to look exactly the same, okay? So that's one challenge. So again, you have to breed, each kid probably has 3 to 4 does, and each doe has in between 6 and 11 rabbits per litter, if the breeding goes correctly, okay? So I had little 4-H'ers with 50 baby bunnies and no outlet, because the county didn't call it soon enough. So yeah, I had a lot of upset parents. What are we going to do with all these rabbits? Like, if it goes to fair, really not that big of a deal, you know, then, you know, because each kid can bring usually about 3 to 4 meat pens, because each meat pen counts for 1 rabbit. Even though there's 3, it still just counts as 1 rabbit, but we do have to limit how many animals are brought into the fair. Okay, and you know what I should have done? I should have got that other one prepared too. So we'll do that now while that one's drying. So yeah, I had a lot of really upset parents. I mean, and I don't blame them, you know, I mean, but thank goodness we have a raptor program here that services and rehabilitates all kinds of birds of prey. So yeah, they were able to do that. And so the birds of prey was able to feed lots of injured birds. So there's always silver linings, right? That's what we ended up doing with all of Grace's that we couldn't take to fair. Oh, and on top of all of that, there's been a really bad rabbit disease going around. And so it's killing herds. And I don't know exactly, I know it's migrated from the south. I don't know like point of origin or even if anybody knows point of origin. But yeah, so on top of that, even if we had been able to have the kids in there, we wouldn't have had the rabbits there because of that. It's like RH2 or something. I forget now what it's called. But again, I'm going to accordion this up. And I'm not going to score really firm until I get it all put up there, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I don't want that to happen again this year. Like if it's looking like this rabbit disease is not going anywhere anytime soon, then we're going to have to like make steps, like take steps further. You know what I mean? Like if this COVID thing is going to last, then I'm not going to have my kids breeding rabbits again unless they want to. I mean, they can. I mean, nobody can predict the future, right? But yeah, I don't know. It just seems all shades of not great for kids these days. Like all the things that are helping them grow and become great humans is being like, it feels like sabotaged a little bit, if I'm being honest. Like, and they weren't like, one of the other things that was kind of made me a little bit irritated is like the way they had to do like the fashion show, because they still have like quilting and sewing and all that stuff. The way they did that for the kids this year was just kind of a letdown. I don't know. I guess today is just one of those complaining days. I'm sorry, guys. Hopefully at least you guys can giggle about it. And if you can't giggle, maybe I'm giving you some did you know facts, right? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I try to be so positive for you guys all the time, but yeah, sometimes it is just what it is, right? I think we all kind of occasionally get into those. Again, if you're using pattern paper, make sure your patterns match when you're gluing them all together. And you could definitely make this longer. Like, I made it several different ways yesterday, and I liked it this way the best. And then the wider you make your paper, the bigger your rosette's going to be, obviously. Because I did at first make it at 3 inches, but it was like way too big, and 2 inches was just a little bit too small. So for me, if you're going to replicate this one, for me, 2.5 looked the best to my eyeballs. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get those all in. And we're going to struggle again for a few minutes. Wow, that one wasn't as hard. And guys, I've only got a couple more projects for you. Kind of my creativeness is kind of leaving me. I think it's the holidays, like just getting ready for everything. Either that or I used it all up with the challenge. I think I said that last week. Yeah. And I have some journals that I want to get done. So yeah, I'm gonna be working on journals and ephemera probably the rest of December. Ooh, and I do have a really cool featured shop Friday coming up this week. I think you guys will all enjoy it. I think it's pretty cool. Oh boy, those are warm, are they not? So we're gonna remove the heat and I just got this at Walmart. It's just a silicone thing that just helps conduct the heat, not on my fingers. And then the hot glue usually comes right off if you get it on there. Just rubs right off, so. Okay. All right, let's get the glitter portion on this one. And then we'll put the gold on that one, and then we'll decorate the one that's already 100% dry. How about that? So as you can see, you could really, if you had all the rosettes done and then you just glittered up almost like all in one, you know, stage or whatever, you could really have a bunch of these already done. Yeah, I think I'm really liking this glitter stuff. You can kind of put it as thick as you want, but it does dry, like the glue portion or whatever it is, the medium, whatever they call that. It does dry pretty clear. I mean, this one got heavy, so it didn't, as you can see, it didn't really leave any of like all that white you're kind of seeing now. It won't actually really leave any of that, so. And I've been having kind of, I wonder if the air quality is terrible again today. Every now and then since the fire, I just get kind of goopy. And nope, I don't have the Rona. I mean, not that I've been tested, but I can still smell and taste everything, and I don't have a fever. Or that, or it's allergies, because we've had, again, like that 2 foot of snow we had a little while ago. That's like the only moisture we've had this winter. I think I'm gonna go ahead and pop a little bit more glue right there. Just feeling like it might need it, and I guess I should probably check the other one too. That gets warm. I hope that one seems pretty good. Oh, and I forgot. No, I didn't. I was thinking I forgot to put the gold around that one, but I didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the gold around the edges on these two. And that's that Art Alchemy vintage gold made by, is it Prima? I believe it's Prima. Yep, made by Prima. And I know you can order it on Amazon. My favorite is the gold. As you can tell, a lot of my projects carry the gold on it. It's a good gold. I want to get the rose gold one. I think that one would be really pretty too. Nice and gentle. And it didn't seem to matter whether the stuff was still wet when I put on the gold. Maybe because it's kind of a wax. And they just both basically dried together, and still the gold showed up and so did the glitter, so. So I think I asked you guys how you guys were doing. I don't know, it's been a while since the video's been going. Everybody's staying healthy. Anybody gotten sick? It does seem like a common cold's going around here too, so yeah, look out. It is winter, whether we want it to be or not. Okay, let me wash off my hands and we'll get to decorating this one that's already dry. And then I guess for me, this, I don't know if this will be a helpful hint or not. I don't think all this glitter is coming off without soap and water. One of the helpful things for me is I put the tie-in first, or the eyelet, so I kind of know where I'm going with it, if that makes any sense. So like I'll put it up here, and it just kind of keeps me a little straighter. I'm gonna have to order some more of those gold eyelets. I've been using the heck out of those. And to be honest, this one's a little bit trickier to get in there because you're working with ridges. But it still works. Okay. All right, now I brought along, this is one of the journals that we're going to be working on. I brought along this. This is out of Tina's new Christmas kit. A Festive Frolic, I think is what that one is, maybe. I know she's got two, and I'm sorry, Tina, I can't remember the exact kit name here. And then I still have out these little guys. I was thinking maybe it might be kind of fun to maybe add maybe a couple of these. Kind of bring some more shine to it. And then I was thinking maybe I would cut it down and put like Merry and then Christmas. Let's try it. In for a penny, in for a pound, right? Yeah, I kind of like that. But I do think that I will add a third snowflake back here somewhere. Let's just see what that looks like. Yeah, kind of offsets it just a little bit. Okay. And then I'll ink up those words really quick here in a minute. But let's get these down. I don't know why I'm so nervous about that Zoom meeting tonight. Seriously. I mean, I usually don't have that big of an issue doing public speaking. Maybe it's because I haven't done it for a while. That might be it. I mean, obviously, I talk to the video camera, but, you know, there's a difference when you have a live audience listening to your every word, so to speak, right? I like it. I think I like it. Like I said before, these are really just quick and easy. And yet they just look gorgeous, don't they? Oh. Look at that. I went through all that trouble to put in that eyelet first. And then I don't even make sure everything's lined up before I just start going for it, right? And then I just got to thinking, what if we put a little bit of Wink of Stella on these just to give it even just a tad bit more shine? Okay, and I don't think my Wink of Stella is back here, so I will have to finish that up a little bit later, or maybe, well, because I think that might be too much. I might actually have to hot glue those down. This glue does not like that sparkly paper. It's got more, well, it was one of those paper packs from Michael's. And yeah, it doesn't seem to like that very well. I was just looking over here to see if I had any ribbon instead of, let's try this. Don't know if I'm going to be able to get it through that eyelet. But we'll give it an old college try. Nope. So I wonder if we just cut it and took just one layer, because it's like two. So I wonder what would happen if I just separated the two and just used one. There we go. Maybe. Yeah, that might work. So that's another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is the time is coming to think about after Christmas sales. So yeah, be thinking about those kind of things, like especially in January, and the things that people aren't thinking about that we use all the time. Hold off a little bit and then get them like in January, okay? I generally wait until Michael's and Hobby Lobby and Joann's are running their 90% off sales, or 70 to 90, you know, which usually happens around January 10th, give or take a few days. So if you wait till then you get this kind of stuff that everybody passes up. You get it, I mean, regular price is $3.99. You can get it for like 70 cents, right? Of course, my mask skills aren't what they should be today, but yeah, in between 50 and 70 cents. So yeah, just think about those kind of things. Those are, you know, yeah, you're going to have to store them for a year, but, you know, which would you rather pay? $2.99 or 50 to 70%, or 50 to 70 cents? Yeah. All right, so there's that one. All right, let's just keep going. And maybe we'll just get all of these done in one video. What would that be like? That would be crazy, wouldn't it? Don't know that that's actually happened pretty much all year. Not all year, but all Christmas season here. I'm still plugging away on those, like that very first project. Still plugging away on those. I'm just about done, but okay. And this one isn't going to matter where it is. Let's find one of the driest spots. There we go. I'll do that one. And these you could also use as tags too, and ornaments like we did yesterday's, because we've put a back on the rosette, so you have a flat surface to write your to and from, okay? And so I've got some more of Tina's little designs here. I love this little thing. I was trying to decide. I think I am going to use the big tree. And then I've got one more of these little snowflakes here. And I think I'm going to do Season's Greetings on this one. And then we'll decorate the last one up a little bit, and then I'm going to pause it. I'm going to go get my Wink of Stella to make sure it's not in there. I used it the other day when I was sitting watching TV, and I forgot to bring it back to the craft room. So there's that. And we might add a few other little things in there, but that's the basic concept. I'm going to try this other tree just because I love the little presents that are on there, and but I love the size of that tree. I did bring a couple little more ephemera pieces. Let's see. That's a maybe. And you'll see more of this kit here soon. Oh, well, how about I just spill everything out? How does that work? That's cute. I was just looking for little stuff. Apparently I'm all thumbs today. It's, you know what it is? It's that glitter stuff on my fingers. Keeps grabbing everything. Okay, so if we use the big tree, we've got to put something else in there. Or blendy too much. Not crazy about that. I think we're just going to go with the small tree and the words. I think sometimes these can get too much going on with them. Okay. Like I said, that glue just doesn't like to stick with that. So we might have to hot glue that one down too. All right, so I like that. And we're going to set it aside for a second. Again, I'll go get my Wink of Stella here in just a minute, and we'll sheen those up a little bit. Okay. All right. And we did that one. So, and then, let's see. I was thinking maybe another Santa one. These might look kind of cute. And this one we could maybe layer up. We don't need words on this one. Let's see what they look like with ink on them. And just see if we like that. And then maybe I'll see if I have some different colored snowflakes over here. Because I think I got all the gold. Okay, super cute. Super cute. Actually thinking something just a little bit different. All right, 2 seconds for the brain to start working here. I'm just making an envelope right now, and it's going to be glued shut, so all right. So what I just made was kind of like a little faux envelope, which I'm sure you guys have seen tons of creators make. Okay, so I'm thinking instead of this little guy, maybe we're going to slip this one in here. Yep. Okay, so let's glue it together. A little under the flaps, a little right here. And then completely glued right here. Okay. Oh, we wanted to look for a snowflake really quick, didn't we? Or I did, and I don't even think I have any left. You know, I'll have to get the cutter back out and maybe see if I can cut some more of those. But I need a new blade, so who knows? Okay, and I have another idea too to kind of finish this off. There's a little special delivery piece in there. That might look really cute too. And then we might pop a little bow on there. Not quite small enough, huh? I was thinking maybe this little bow, but I think it's got, let's see what that looks like. Trim that off. and then we need something else like small. Small little bow, or these are way too big. Yeah, way too big. Hey, the other day we had that little white flower. Remember that? When we did Keisha's bags. Wonder where it is now. Bet you it's lost in the abyss. Or, nope, too much, too much. What else, guys? What else should we put there? I have this really Christmas blessings here. I mean, we could cut off the blue bow of this one. There's like a deep red one there. I'm gonna do it because I can always print more, right? So I'm just gonna cut it off like it wasn't even part of that. Okay, I like it. Okay, now let's get our strings put on here, and then I will go pause the video, and then I will go get the Winkastella out of the living room. And then we will call it a video. Okay, there's that one. I'm gonna have to cut just a little bit more. Unfortunately, I cut that other piece just not quite right. Won't go to waste. We'll just put it in our scrap over here. Bo's getting ready to go to work. My kid's been working a ton of hours. Okay, there we go. All right, let me pause the video. Get some of these other little pieces out of here real quick. And I'm going to go get the Winkastella and we will finish these off. I think it'll look really cute. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, this is Wink of Stella. It comes in it's Wink of Stella, and it comes in brush form. And be very careful when you're kind of pushing it out. A little dab will do ya. And this stuff, if you don't, it'll pile up and it goes really fast then. It just puts a nice little finish on your pieces. Just a little light, pretty much what it means, a wink. Just gives you a wink of glitter. It's one of my favorites to use. And I'm almost out. I gotta order some new ones here. So I'm just gonna kind of go around on there. Just putting just a wink of it. You can kind of probably hear it too. And it usually dries pretty fast. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the Santa Claus one too. Its words here. Just giving it just a little bit of a shine. And then I'll hold it up to the camera and you might be able to see it. And when I say might, I mean it might not be possible. Sometimes the camera won't pick that up. And then I don't know what I did with the lid. There it is. All right, so it's just, like I said, a little tiny shimmers. So you can see it when you're in person, but the camera, like I said, doesn't really like to pick it up. All right, so there we go. 4 really cute little ornaments and or tags. Voila! All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this project, and we will see you tomorrow for another one. All right, bye, guys.